What's up? So this is going to be my review of Junk by M83. It's the 7th album by M83. They're a French electronic band. Anthony Gonzalez is the mastermind of this band, and he's kind of like the orchestrator, and he makes all the melodies and stuff for this group, kind of like Kevin Parker from Tame Impala. This album is heavily inspired by 70s and 80s sitcoms, kind of for better or worse. I had heard a few albums by M83 and I enjoyed them. They're kind of overly long, so they don't really like lend to replay value for me, but they're pretty good albums, and so I kind of knew what to expect from this album, kind of like a reimagining or reintroduction of sound that, has passed. And this album kind of delivered that. It is a very loving, authentic tribute to these sitcom. There's a lot of like rising synths like on the tracks Electric Sud and Moon Crystal. Lots of cheesy brass and saxophone instruments, kind of indicative of that era. And it has a bunch of keyboards that are super corny and like happy sounding. And this all kind of lends and kind of makes you feel like you're living in this happy sitcom that's kind of cheesy. And the melodies on this album on some parts are really good. The Wizard kind of reminds me of like a really cheesy 80s action movie, but the kind of synths that kind of drive the entire song. The first half of it sounds like something out of like the Steve Brule show, like how they have like kind of weird transitional music that's really choppy and really lo-fi. And I really like that aspect of the song. Go sounds like a kind of like a climactic part in a action movie with these like really like plucky like guitar riffs, and then it has like this really like anthemic chorus or hook. And then Moon Crystal was kind of like the highlight of the album. It sounds like a really cheesy like sitcom theme song, and it has like these like rising strings with a corny like keyboard sounding instrument. It kind of reminds me of the kind of sketches that Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett do on Saturday Night Live. Like production quality is really high. Anthony Gonzalez spent like a lot of time like making sure that this album sounded authentic to the time, and you could tell that he spent a lot of money trying to make this album sound like that. But kind of my major issue with the album is like, why should I care? Like, why do we really need like an album that sounds like this sound? Like, we've had albums like Saturday Equals Youth, which is his album, Cupid Deluxe, Emotion, all these type of albums that kind of blend to like the 80s pop genre. This album kind of even goes even smaller and just encapsulates like just sitcoms, and that to me doesn't seem like you shouldn't base an album based off that. It kind of sounds like an experiment or a dare to kind of make like the cheesiest music ever. Even though I like Moon Crystal, it does just sounds like something that like Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett would use for one of their really cheesy like sitcom parodies, and it just, I don't know, it just sounds small and insignificant in the long run of what people are making. Kind of like that they're like Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett's humor and kind of like Adult Swim's humor is just so detached and ironic that it kind of feels like a joke. And then a lot of the songs, like definitely towards the back half of the album, sounds like it's like really uninteresting music. It just sounds really like bland and kind of lackluster and meandering, and it doesn't really lend itself to repeat listens. Overall, I would give the album, I'll give the album a 6. It does have some good melodic songs. It is an authentic tribute to those sitcom music tropes, and the production value is really high with this album. But I felt like overall, like, it sounds like a dare to kind of make the cheesiest music you can, and the music is really uninteresting at times, and it just kind of lends the fact like who even wants an album like this, you know what I mean? Like, who really wants like pretty much parody music. Overall, it was okay. I guess if you're a fan of M83, you're gonna listen to it, but I can't fully recommend the album. Yeah, so those are kind of my thoughts on the album. What did you think about it? Let me know, and thanks for watching. Thanks, bye.